Hi guys, welcome to my coffee show. My name is Jack and today I have a big one for you. Today we are going to compare DF64 Gen 2 with Timemore 064S. Wow, this should be a great battle. Both Chinese grinders, both with 64mm bursts. Which one should we choose? Well, I will try to answer this question today. Big thank you to Joe from Espresso Outlet for sending me this DF64 Gen 2. I will put his links in the description. If you are looking for any coffee gear, you may as well check his website. He supports the coffee community a lot, so let's show him some love. I'm recording this video on a Sunday morning, and I don't know why, suddenly there was a helicopter on top of the house. There are trucks on the main roads. I don't know what's going on. If you hear any noise, I do apologize for that. So what we're going to do today, I will talk about some similarities and differences between those two grinders. Then we're going to do espresso and a pour over test. And by the end, I will tell you which one I think is better and why. So if you're as excited as myself, definitely click like, sit tight and enjoy. Let's start with the price of those two grinders. DF64 at the time of recording Gen 2 cost around $400. Timemore 064S, well, I bought it on a Kickstarter for about £250, but the retail price I think is about $450. So we can say that they operate in the same price range, so therefore there will be a clear competition to each other. The look of those grinders, important for some, not important for the others. Very subjective which one you would prefer. Both grinders come in a black and white version. You tell me in the comments which one looks better. To me, DF64 looks more professional. To me, DF64 looks like if it would fit almost every coffee setup. Modern, traditional and so on. Timer definitely looks interesting. There is a substantial difference in the size and weight. DF64 weighs around 6.8 kg, while Timemore is shorter, weighs 4.1 kg, but the footprints of both of them, it's kind of similar. Both grinders have a grind indicator. Great, that's what we want from a grinder, to have a grind indicator. DF64, the indicator is on top, you can see clearly where you are. Timemore, the numbers are at the front, but the actual grind indicator is on the side, so it can be a little bit tricky. You have to kind of look from the side. Some people even mention to position it on a countertop like so. That would give you certain advantages, but then again you would not have the numbers visible. Both grinders come with the nice catching cup. DF64, I really like this catching cup. You get a collar as well to shorten the distance between shoot and the cup. There are rubber O-rings here, so it doesn't rattle much. The static here is minimal, so it almost always is clean. And if you like so, you can easily transfer the grinds from the cup into the portafilter itself, or you can grind directly into the portafilter. With Timemore, you get this one, slightly less impressive cup. You cannot grind directly into portafilter. I mean, it fits the style of the grinder. You possibly could dose it directly, but that wouldn't be good for the coffee pack. It's a black color inside, so you don't see well what's going on in, but if you did, there's always some mess. The good thing here is that it is magnetically attached. The magnets are not extremely strong. On and off switch in both of those grinders is on the side. That's the change from Gen 1 DF64 when it was at the front. I'm not 100% happy with both of them. I mean, DF64, it doesn't fit the rest of the style. I would put something made out of metal, maybe something slightly bigger, I don't know. Let me know what you think about this. With Timemore, it moves up and down, and it's also kind of a deeper into the grinder. Because of that, you may risk knocking the catching cup. Both of those grinders are single dose grinders. DF64, it has that blower on top with the wooden cap. Timemore got that single dose hopper on top, and the top is magnetically attached, which is very nice. Instead of blower, with Timemore you get a knocker, and I don't know why, but it's very satisfying to use that knocker. Both of those grinders, the build quality seems very good. Both of those grinders are mostly made out of metal. With Timemore you've got a little bit of the plastic on top. Electric cable is on the back where it should be. With Timemore you can detach the electric electric cable, which is a good thing, but few times it happens that it detached by itself, possibly my fault. One huge difference here, and something unusual for the grinder in this price range, is that Timemore comes with regulated RPM from 800 till 1200. Normally I like to stay at that lower range. It is on the posterior, so not easy access to that feature. Yes, you don't change it that often, but each time you have to put your hand behind or you have to move the grinder. Few times when the electric cable detached, I put my hand behind to reattach it, and unknowingly I changed the RPM of my grinder. The last thing that you may notice is that the DF64 is tilted. I think it's a 15-degree tilt, while Timemore is standing straight. And to understand why, we have to talk about the internals now. Both grinders come with 64mm burrs. DF64 has steel burrs made by undisclosed Chinese producer, while Timemore 064S has a grind lapse, and here is why DF64 is tilted and Timemore is not. With DF64, those burrs are parallel. So if it wasn't tilted, it would be clogging and regrinding. That tilt helps the grinder to push that grinds through the chute into the cup. With Timemore, they use a different solution, so the burrs are vertical, and the gravity helps a lot with getting the grinds down. Now, we coffee geeks, we like to play, we like to tinker with our toys. 64mm burrs are very popular. You have many different options. With DF64, to get access to the burrs, very straightforward. With Timemore, you can also get access to the burrs, but it is much more tricky. And to put it back again, well, the last time I tried it took me about an hour. Engine power of DF64 is 250 watts, with Timemore is 150 watts. That will translate into the different noise and the different grinding speed. One of my biggest complaints about DF64 Gen 2 is that noise. The frequency, it's high, almost to the point that it's painful. With Timemore, even though the noise is quieter, it's more annoying. So I will quickly run the test and I will let you to decide which one you prefer. I mostly use light medium roast coffee. My DF64 can deal with everything. With Timemore, it happened on a few occasions that it stalled. Not a big problem, just turn it off and on again and it goes. DF64 Gen 2 comes with the plasma generator, so it helps to deal with some static, especially for espresso. Both of those grinders are still not fully seasoned. I would say 1.5 kg of coffee went through each of them. With time, the static will get down. You may use the RDT if you want. For today's test, I won't. Both of those grinders are very low in terms of retention. Honestly, I'm surprised. Okay, I talked a lot. I fancy a coffee and you want to see the results. So let's pull espresso first. We're going to use La Marzocco Liva style profile on this end. And once again, I'm going to do blind tasting. Underneath each cup, there is a letter T for Timemore and letter D is for... Yes, correct. That's for DF64. And we need some coffee, so we're going to use coffee from St. Martin's Coffee Roaster. Well, let's do it! Okay, 2 shots are ready. Not an easy choice. So this shot, the body is thinner, I can taste like a fruity, juicy sourness. I wouldn't say pineapple or chocolate. Maybe I'm imagining some blueberries somewhere there in the background. Overall, not bad. Now, this shot, body is slightly thicker. I'm getting that nice mouthful of flavors. Also the sourness. Also, I cannot detect most of the flavor notes that they promised. Again, somewhere in the background, maybe the blueberries. Both shots nicely balanced. Here, that juiciness got more depth. Almost like if I was drinking pomegranate juice. It's not a huge difference, but I'm choosing this one because it's more vibrant and better. I would say maybe 15% better than the first one. And the winner of espresso is... DF64. Interesting. Now remember, with the Timemore we could also manipulate the RPMs. I went today for a highest RPM, and that would also create some extra additional flavors. At some point I will record a video playing with different RPMs on this grinder, but for today DF64, better, deeper flavors. Okay, now is the time for pour over. We're going to use Simplify today, and I think I will use the same coffee. It's a nice, lively, sour coffee. Well, let's pour it. here I found the winner almost immediately, and that's the cup here. Both cups I'm tasting kind of a chocolatey notes, but here that sourness is deeper, juicier, more lively. Here slightly more in the background. This cup, although pleasant, kind of like muted, gives me less, while this one is nicer, juicier, crispier, more vibrant. If I close my eyes, I can even find some pineapple here. And that is... that's Timemore! Timemore won the pour-over challenge, guys! This cup, the cup from DF64, it was behind. It's an interesting result because after espresso test, I was expecting the same to translate into the pour-over test. That's why we do the blind tasting, guys, because our predictions often differ from reality. Now, guys, if you are still here, definitely click like, subscribe to the channel, plenty more things coming. That's what we do here. We compare, we play, we test. So, which grinder to choose? Well, I won't make the decision for you. I try to be as objective as possible. Today DF64 won Espresso Challenge and Timemore won Pour Over Challenge. If I had to choose myself, I would go for DF64 Gen 2 because it feels more professional, it looks better, much easier access to the burst. The workflow slightly faster, espresso was tasting better, and that's what I mostly drink. Now, if regulated RPMs are important, if you want something smaller, then Timemore is a very good choice as well. If you have any of those grinders, let me know which one you prefer. Are you still waiting for your Timemore to arrive? Some people in the US, they will be probably waiting till Christmas. Hopefully you will get your grinder soon. But for today, thank you very much for watching. My name is Jack, this is my coffee show, and hopefully I will see you soon. Thank you, bye!